What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of a Disc Golf podcast brought to you by Good Line Disc Golf. I'm Philip. This is Jeff.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, so we're on episode 5, and before we get started, I wanted to remind everyone, all of our listeners, all of our watchers, we are doing a giveaway once we get to 500 subscribers on this channel. Whether you watch it for the podcast, whether you watch it for the fun disc golf games and videos that we do, whether you watch it for the random stuff, or whether you don't even watch it. If you just want to be a subscriber, that'd be great. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll be entered into a contest to possibly win a Eagle Rebirth, Rising Phoenix type disc, whatever it's called, Envy. And that's one of the giveaways. And then the other giveaway will be a pair. It's not necessarily these colors, but a pair of the new Simon Lizotte Pixels that come out February 16th. So I'm sure we'll be holding on to these for a while, but maybe not. Hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, buddies, mother, sister, everyone that you know.
Spread it
around, because we're trying to get this podcast going. We don't necessarily want to be national, but we want to get the local guys involved with this thing, and it'll be a good time. All right, so there's not a whole lot going on in the disc golf world right now. Slow news week, as they like to say, but the season is coming up.
It's getting there.
So the first events of the season, I think, are next week, the All-Star Weekend. I think Thursday they do the draft. Jeff, do you have any? What do you think about the All-Star Weekend? You think it's good for disc golf? Do you feel like it actually starts the season? How do you feel about it?
I mean, yeah, it's a good kickoff. You know, everybody's itching to see coverage and seeing all these the pros that sign new contracts and throwing new molds, and I think it's a probably good way for these guys on the tour to get back in the swing of things.
Oh yeah, so I think I've heard a couple of them talk about how they're really not well practiced by the time the All-Star event comes around. They're just, okay, now it's like for them, now it's time to start practicing. Now it's time you get to get out there and play, and then you get to start practicing, kind of thing.
Right.
For me, I think it's like a kickoff for the season, like it's supposed to be. Yeah, but for watching disc golf, for playing disc golf, we're lucky enough to live in the South. And so as cold as it gets, disc golf keeps going.
We don't really have an off season here.
We don't, which is great. And you lived in Florida before.
Right.
So there was like never an off season there, huh?
Yeah, I didn't think so.
It was like 40 degrees and y'all are shivering out there.
Cold, wearing hoodies.
I think there's some big pros. There's some big pros from Florida, and they probably play all year round. Calvin, I think he's a Florida guy.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I don't know Calvin personally. I think he's been hanging out down there in Florida in off season.
Gotcha. And you knew Madison Walker. Was she Florida? Is she a Floridian?
Yeah, she's from Pensacola. I know. I've seen a lot of people have moved to Pensacola area now. Yeah, because they have the Oakleys are there, Eric and Tina, and then Paige Pierce, and I believe I just saw Missy Gannon and her husband are now living in Pensacola.
Oh snap!
So
year-round disc golf.
Yeah, they're getting it down there. So.
Yeah, so I there are days when it snows here and we still get out and play, but I can imagine like Florida doesn't snow, so you're just out there going. Yeah. So I think as far as watching disc golf goes, again, I think it's a great start to kind of get everybody in the mood to watch disc golf again. Do you prefer, when you watch disc golf, thinking about watching disc golf, do you prefer to watch maybe like the Joe Mez post-production coverage, or do you like to watch it all day?
Well, a little bit of both. I don't want to really sit down and consume 3 hours just sitting there watching it, but I do like the post-production stuff because it'll jump around a lot. But I don't know, the year that Conrad hit the shot, it was like I was watching it live, and then everybody, I probably shut it off when everybody thought Macbeth was gonna take it down on 18, and then I get on Facebook and it's blowing up.
You missed it.
And I'm like, what happened?
No way.
Yeah. So I had to like try to scramble to figure out what the heck just happened. Why is my feed blowing up about James Conrad, And so, I mean, it's cool to have those live moments, obviously.
For sure. But I would not have gotten off the couch the same way that I did. When I saw it live, I was sitting there, I was laying on the couch, I was half asleep because I thought it was over, and then he hit that shot. I'm off the couch like, what? My wife looked like it's crazy. But yeah, so you won't have those moments, like you said, if you're watching it Joe Mez. But Joe Mez does give you that condensed version where you can watch it all kind of thing. So,
and I think it also depends on what the event is.
Sure.
Or I'm more consumed in the final rounds of live coverage than I am the first 3 or 2 or 3. You know, I like the lead card coverage, and especially in the final day.
For sure.
You know, especially, and you know, if you're keeping up, whether it's on UDisc or whatever, and then it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a battle. You know, I want to watch this
for sure.
You know?
Absolutely. I think so we kind of keep it around because you know we're going to be talking about it this year, and not even before we were doing the podcast, I would put it on in the background. A lot of times with the FPO coverage, I would turn it off because Kristen Tatar had won it like halfway through the round. It was like clear.
Right.
Kristen Tatar was going to win it. And, you know, it's crazy to think about. I think she's great for disc golf. I don't know if she's great for live disc golf because it's like over before it even starts. But anyway, yeah, so I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to watching, looking forward to talk about it, commentating on it. The All-Star Weekend. Have you watched the All-Star Weekend before?
Probably bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know like one day they have skills challenges, one day they have doubles, and one day they have like the singles event at the end. The single wins it all. Is there something that you would like to see, like from maybe an All-Star Weekend, that would like be really interesting to you? Like, I'll turn this on and watch it.
No, I mean that's a pretty cool format that they got going. I mean, like I said, I think it's more or less they're knocking the rust off the off season, and so it's like you may not see, or you may see great disc golf.
Yeah, right. So. More likely than not seeing great disc golf, but fun disc golf for sure.
For sure.
I've thought about this because I've been thinking about it kind of all day. What would I like to see? Like, what would I turn on for sure if it was on? Because the skills competition, I turn it on. I like to see everyone throwing the shots, and I like to see the camaraderie they have. But I would like to see, I don't know if you remember this 2 years ago, or maybe it was 3 years ago now, like right after COVID, they were like really pushing disc golf media, and they had like a Paul McBeth Foundation thing where they played it was kind of like an all-star event of Discraft, and they played with celebrities. They did like a celebrity.
Is that the one
program.
they did on like that Ben Askren's farm?
Yeah. I think it was a Ben Askren maybe led thing, but with Paul McBeth.
Right.
I'd like to see something like that come back around, and maybe it wasn't just Discraft players, but it was Discraft sponsored because Ben Askren I think is sponsored by Discraft in some way.
He is. Yeah.
And so if they could do that again, I would definitely tune in, especially if they have Bert Kreischer on there, and they had Ben Askren, and they had that celebrity chef Andrew, can't remember his name, but
oh yeah, I can picture his face. What is his name?
I can't think of it either, but I think it'd be cool just to see the Watts. Like, imagine if they got JJ Watt and TJ Watt playing disc golf. I'm tuning in for that.
Yeah, that'd be fun to watch.
If you could watch any celebrity play disc golf, who would you? Like, who would get your attention?
Celebrity?
Yeah, no, that's a huge, broad question.
Huge question.
Anyone watching right now, I guess the Super Bowl's next week, so they could say Travis Kelce or Taylor Swift.
Man, I don't know. There's just too many.
That's a huge question.
Yeah, there's too many.
I'd like to see Michael Jordan, throw,
or maybe Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
You'd have to have someone down there that could make fun of themselves too,
make it a good time. I feel like you could probably steal some money from Michael Jordan because he was notorious for betting.
Well, he's a betting man.
He's
for sure.
Notorious for betting.
Yeah.
So halfway through, he'd probably feel pretty good and maybe put some bets down and
let him throw a couple good shots to get his hopes up.
Yes. Yeah. Look, that reminds me of the topic. We were going to talk about this topic anyway, but George Watson, hopefully he's watching this thing. He was watching the podcast Tour Life with Brody and Paul Ulibarri, in which they were discussing a few things. And I want to get your take on this. And if you're watching and you got a take on this, yeah, definitely comment down in the comment section. But they had gotten to this like argument with some of his listeners, some of his followers. Is disc golf betting? Like, when you're playing in a tournament, is it betting? Is it gambling?
Is it gambling?
Yeah, is it gambling?
Well, I like to gamble. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I like to go pay for my entertainment at a casino.
Sure, yeah.
Do I get the same feeling as hitting the point on the craps table as I do winning a tournament? Probably not.
Okay,
but because I mean, you gotta look at it that way too. I'm not playing disc golf for my means of life.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't go to a casino for my means of life. Yeah.
But
So for me, I'm paying for my entertainment.
Yeah.
And if I'm getting something in return by hitting the cash line, then so be it.
Yeah.
But at this point, I don't think it's a gamble.
Okay.
I don't think it's a gamble unless you're one of those guys that's, you're locally good.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I think I'm gonna try the tour.
Oh, okay.
Now you're gambling.
That is a gambler, sure.
Now you're gambling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm gonna play this local event on Saturday and I don't win, well, guess what? I'm going to work on Monday.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm gonna have my paycheck in 2 weeks. So it's like, no, for me, it's not a gamble.
He said, now you're gambling.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's like, for me, it's not a gamble. I got to pay my entry fee, but I enjoy playing. I enjoy competing. Especially, I'm probably just like 90% of other men who grew up playing sports.
Yeah.
Mine was baseball, but even though that's a team sport,
mm-hmm.
it was still a competition.
Sure.
And so the drive to compete is still with me even at 46,
mm-hmm.
and raising 3 boys who all played sports.
Yeah.
And not only just the disc golf when they were younger, but they also played baseball, and I coached. So it was just like the competition drive has always been there.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I want to just compete.
Sure. Yeah.
I like to compete.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's good. You know what? You gave me I wasn't even thinking. I don't know. You hit some good points that I wasn't even thinking about. Because the competition, is gambling a competition? What do you think? Is blackjack a competition?
No, it's a game.
Yeah,
it's a game.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. I think there's a little bit of, obviously you can't control everything, but there's a little bit of control that you have when it comes to disc golf, right? You're playing a sport. You can.
Right.
It's a, like you said, a competition. I think the reason people ask if it's gambling or not is because the purses that we're playing for
mm-hmm.
are essentially, we put them down. Unless there's a big sponsor or anything, right. Which most local C tiers, that's not the case. The money in the pot is supplied by the entry fees. So,
and you're already losing money in the pot. We pay $50 entry fee, but X amount's going to this,
PDJ,
X amount's going to that. So then the purse shrinks anyway.
For sure.
And, if you're looking at any type of gambling, you're always going to play on the odds.
Yeah.
Well, what odds have we got in disc golf when it comes to the financials? We're already losing money when we put it in because it's got to go to other expenses.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good. I think that you could see it either way, but you're trying to change. You're kind of changing my opinion because I was thinking it is kind of gambling a little bit.
But what was your opinion on it?
No, I think my opinion is I don't feel like I'm. If it is gambling, my livelihood is not on it, kind of thing, and so I kind of thought that maybe it is gambling, but it is a safe way to gamble because you're betting on yourself. It's like a sporting competition kind of thing,
mm-hmm.
And so maybe in the pro level, not pro level, but MPO in the local C tiers, it's more gambling than it is in the MPO in the tour. And you said the other way, but I'm saying the people who have those contracts are getting their entry fees paid for, kind of thing. And obviously it's their money because they got those contracts. But it really is semantics. It's how you look at it.
Right. Yes. Well, you get up into that level, and now it's the sponsors taking the gamble.
Right.
At that point.
Right. They're taking the gamble on the player.
Correct.
Yeah. And so it's a good question, but I don't feel when I sign up for a tournament, I don't think, ooh, I'm rolling the dice.
Right.
I think I need to go practice putting.
Right. Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to go out there and you want to be able to compete well enough to win.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you're also competing. You want to compete well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If you don't win, you don't win.
Right.
That's all part of the, being a good sport, and that's
for
what
sure.
we were taught when we were young. Anyhow, you
absolutely
got take the L's with the W's.
Yeah. So I don't even think that it's a lot of people might think, even if you're looking at my sweatshirt or whatever, since I'm a pastor, a lot of people might think that I think that it's wrong to gamble. I actually don't think that it is wrong to gamble. I do think it's wrong to gamble to the level where your livelihood and your life is, where you're betting something that you don't have on it. And again, I don't feel like disc golf is that. And so, even if it is betting, which again I don't think it is, it's a more acceptable or safer way to do it if you view it as gambling or betting.
If you're viewing it as betting, you're just really betting on yourself.
Right. That's the end of the day.
Yeah.
And Brody Smith on his podcast kind of talked about like everything in life is a gamble. Like when you take that new job, it's a gamble. When you start a new sport, whatever you do, you calculate whether it's worth it, and then you go and try it, kind of thing. And so, I think if you're like talking about semantically, I think actually the opposite. I'm like, well, if everything's a gamble, then nothing's a gamble. So there has to be some kind of way, and I don't think disc golf falls into that category. Or playing a sport for money, I don't think that falls into that category the same way that going to a casino would.
Right.
Yeah. I think we agree. I think you convinced me because I was like,
"You're welcome."
Kind of gambling thing.
And now I can leave.
Yeah, right. You did it. You'll never see Jeff again. He's right. I said he was right.
Last episode.
And another question they had. So this is something that I've kind of talked about in the past before, but now it's kind of in the mainstream thanks to Brody and Yuli talking about it. I
need to watch their podcast, don't I?
Yeah, sometimes it's a good little podcast. I listen to it as I kind of drive around, or like I have extensive time sitting in the shop, so it's on in the background, so I get a chance to listen to it. But basically, the argument was brought up, or the thought was brought up. Hey, how do you feel about players who show up to a tournament? Maybe it's a C tier, maybe it's a pro level. It doesn't matter. Who show up to a tournament and they never played the course. They're playing the course blind, and they're playing an MPO, and the whole time they're asking their card mates. Hey, how do you play this hole? How long is this hole? What do you think is the best shot for this hole? What do you think I need to throw? They see you pull out a rangefinder, you're rangefinding. They're like, how far is it? How do you feel about that?
How long have I known them?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I mean, do we go way back? Do we have good history, bad history?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm usually pretty generous.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, especially if they're coming from out of town and playing a local course, and I'll be like, well, yeah, I normally throw this type of shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 46 years old now, so I play the Masters field, and the Masters guys, as much as we like to compete, we still like to have our fun with it.
Yeah,
and so the banter,
hear them around the course.
The banter's great.
Yeah.
We like to laugh. We'll laugh at our good shots or bad shots or whatever. But, probably back when my earlier days, it would probably have been annoying, but it's not so much now.
Yeah. You're like, I'll tell you what I throw, but you can't throw it anyway.
Yeah. You still got to hit a 40-footer or something at the end. But whatever.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. If I pull out my rangefinder, I'll give you the distance.
Okay.
That might or may not be correct. But, it'll be close.
Yeah, I've done that. I'm ashamed to admit it, but people have asked, when I pull out a rangefinder and I may shoot like 243, and they're like, well, how far is it? I'm
315 all day.
No, see, I don't go that far. I may go to like, it's like 260 or because for me, 20 feet makes a difference. But I'm like, it's around this because I don't want to be a jerk about it.
Right.
But I've always felt this way. I've always felt like, hey, man, if you're going to show up to a tournament and play blind, that's cool. Play it blind. Especially like when I was playing it early, like MA3, MA2, then I was like, yeah, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I don't care because I don't really even know what I'm doing. Then I got up to kind of MA1, and now I'm playing MPO, and I'm not even close. Like I'm on the bottom level of local MPO players, and so I'm like, I'm trying to get whatever advantage I can get, and maybe that's where Brody and I are alike because he's on one of the lower levels of the MPO field, or the elite field, and so he's like, I'm trying to get all the advantage I can get because I would like to cash, kind of thing, and so I've always kind of felt, hey, don't ask me the distance when I pull out my rangefinder. Don't ask me how I'm playing this. I'm trying to focus on. I'm just trying to do it. Like,
I mean, I'm good. I'm good. Like with one of those courses that you might have a blind shot.
Yeah.
You know, or it was something where it's like, yeah, you want to land at that corner, the basket's to the left.
Yeah.
You know, but if we're talking something like HV Griffin locally for us, where
right
you can see every basket.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
You know, and it's like, how good are the T signs?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, if you don't have T signs, is another thing. There are extenuating circumstances.
Right.
I've got a good if you're a good buddy and you've never played the tournament and you've called me before and say, hey, I'm coming to play it blind. If I get on your card, will you help me? Like there is some leeway there, but for the most, I would say generally for the most part for me, it's like, don't ask me what I'm doing or what I'm throwing or don't ask me what disc I threw. Don't ask me about the range. Unless if we're playing a practice round, if we're playing a casual round, all day, I don't care. Yeah. I'll tell you exactly everything.
And another reason I'm not like against giving good information out like that on how I play a hole or something is because I would appreciate the reciprocity of me asking you. Right. And I had that, last year I played a course blind and I probably shouldn't have played this course blind. And but the guys on the card, they were all cool and they're like, yeah, you want to get up to there and then you can get an easier shot up the hill, blah blah blah. And, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna believe you,
right.
And so I mean, that type of reciprocated information is like, okay, I'm guilty of asking, so I'm not gonna be butthurt if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm never gonna be butthurt. And this maybe put a target on my back, and people will be like, "Philip doesn't like one."
I hope I'm on your card Saturday. I'm gonna ask you everything.
Philip doesn't like when people ask. That's one thing too. If it's a course like Tullahoma, where a lot of the lines are, they're there, but sometimes you need help seeing them. I don't mind that either, but I'd rather just let's play and then we can talk about it after the round or kind of thing. So nobody hate me for that. I just agree that if we're playing for money here and I'm trying to get the most advantage I can.
I'm asking questions.
All right, hey, I know who's making the cards on Saturday. So, So here's a question: So Discraft is releasing a new disc. It's called the Kratos. It's like a Luna with a bead.
Okay.
Have you heard or seen anything about it?
Nope.
So I'm excited about it. I don't know if you know about it. Anyone watching may know about it, but I never really liked the Luna. I liked it as a throwing putter, but I didn't like it as a putting putter because I kind of tried it a little bit. It's a little overstable, but I do like beads, and so I do want to get my hand on one and see how it flies. I know Anthony Barella did some stuff and did a video about it, but something interesting happened. Ledgestone sent out an email with Kratos from the video game on it and said, the Kratos is coming. So everyone that kind of saw it was like, can they do that?
I don't, not copyrighted.
Yeah, I don't know if they can do that because Kratos is technically like the name Kratos is open. It's like open season because it's like super old. It's like from mythology, and so. That's Paul Macbeth's line. He's going with Kratos, which is the god of war, right? Maybe?
I don't know.
Okay, but it's a mythological thing. So anyway, if you're big into Discraft, we are going to hopefully get some of those around here, and you can pick them up at your local retailer or goodlinediscgolf.com.
What did they have already for a beaded putter?
They had a Focus, and then a Focus is a beaded putter, and it's like a straight putter. I think this is going to be more overstable. And then they have like a Magnet. A Magnet has and a Challenger.
The Challenger, that's what they.
Challenger
that
has
had
it
a bead, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Challenger Magnet has a weird like cut-in bead, and then the Focus, and then there's also what's the one that the Banger GT has.
It's got the thumb track.
It's a thumb track on the top.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're gonna be coming out with a Banger Zone soon.
A Banger Zone.
Yeah, a Zone Banger, whatever you want to call it. It's got a zone with the Banger top. But yeah, so Discraft's on top of the coming up with new disc thing. Here's one more question that we got from a local.
Okay.
Eric Brown. You know Eric.
Love Eric.
Oh, he's a great dude. Tullahoma local, but he's in Shelbyville all the time. He asked the question, and we talked about it a little bit last week on the podcast, but I kind of want to bring it up again. Why is Lisa Fakis sponsorless? Why is she going open back? Do you think it's a choice? Do you think it's...
Well, on her Facebook announcement, she said it was by choice.
Sure. You would.
It sounds like... Because then she went on... What is OTB? That's like a retail?
Yeah, it's a retail store. Mm-hmm.
So, she got on with that. And I don't know if it's obviously is a good choice for her if that's what she wants to do. She don't want to be tied down to discs. But the real question is, like, why not? Who cares at that point? That's her decision.
Sure.
If she can still, financially sustain on tour and throwing an open bag without a sponsor, maybe she's got something else lined up too down the line. So
I'm curious as well, because to me, I remember when I first started watching disc golf, first started getting into disc golf, and I saw her name a lot, and I kind of thought that she was like an OG of disc golf. Like, I kind of thought that she was like Juliana Korver type person, where they've been around for a long time, everybody knows, and in fact, Juliana Korver wasn't even playing disc golf at the time. Like, she was kind of chilling, and so I thought Lisa Vegas was kind of one of those.
She's been around she was with Innova for 7 years?
Yeah. So,
and then with Lone Star last year.
Right.
So maybe she just wants to change.
Right.
Maybe disc golf hit that lull.
Yeah.
And this is like, okay, this is what's going to re-spark the fire for her, to play.
Yeah.
But who knows?
That seemed to happen with a couple of Lone Star people, so that's no comment.
Yeah, I have no idea. I know where my loyalties are. So.
So I just think that it's just odd to me. I don't want to keep like beating a dead horse, but it's just odd to me that someone who's maybe a top 20 lady doesn't have a manufacturer sponsor. Basically, she's like, Spencer put it like this: I'd rather buy my own disc than
be told what to throw.
Yeah, but she's probably not buying her own disc.
That's still respectable. She's master's age too, so
yeah,
she's been around life.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm sure she's making a choice, based on something in life, financial stability or whatever she's got to do. So
yeah,
like I said, I don't know. Maybe this makes it fun.
Yeah,
relearning a bag.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I hope it's a choice. Like, I hope it's not that nobody would sponsor her, because that doesn't seem. Like
her announcement said it was 100% choice. So.
You would say that though. You would say that regardless.
I don't know. Depending on how
it was a choice or not.
How mad I was, or how the separation went from my last sponsor. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, they cut me.
Yeah, they cut me off, and it was too late in the season, and I can't get anything.
So now I'm just gonna do open bag. I have no other choice.
I would be angry about it. Okay. Because of that, I'll choose to believe her. But I think there's something else going on. But there's no way I could ever know that. So.
I think she's got something lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think by the end of the season, maybe another announcement. I don't know. She's not a FPO player or pro that I know personally. So
imagine she shreds it up this year. Like, I'm gonna go in here with this open bag and shred it up, and then mess around and get a better contract kind of thing. Because
that's a possibility.
That's what you would, you get if you got a bunch of offers you didn't like. That's what you do. You go, okay, I'm gonna throw every disc that I want to throw, light it up, and then get a better offer.
Yeah, free agent.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I'm on the market, and I won 2 Elite Series this year. Good luck with Kristen Tatar out there, but it could happen.
It could happen.
Okay, so I got some fun things I want to ask, or talk about.
All right.
So what are some like stereotypes about disc golfers that you've heard before that you find to be true? Or that you maybe have come up like, this is what disc golfers are.
Well, back in the day, and I'm not saying I found this to be true, but back in the day, all you heard was, oh yeah, they're hippies and dope smokers and whatever, and I'm just like, it is what it is, what you make of it.
Yeah.
It's who's your circle of friends that you choose to hang around with.
Yeah.
But then as you start playing, and you look and you're saying, well, that couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
Maybe back in the 70s.
Sure.
Yeah. But
everybody was.
But you find golfers from all walks of life now,
For sure.
You're a pastor in the church.
Yeah.
I deliver beer.
Yeah.
It's like I've known doctors and lawyers in the past.
For sure.
When I was down in Pensacola, helicopter pilots in the Navy,
Yeah, sure.
So it's like, I think those stereotypes are probably a thing of the past too.
Sure.
And especially now where disc golf is getting more mainstream attention, and to where, which is a good thing. to make it more legitimate. Those negative type stereotypes are probably by the wayside.
Sure.
You know? But so I don't know. I don't know what any of them are true. So what you choose to believe is true.
Sure.
Who you choose to hang out with is true.
Yeah. You would see different things depending on who you hang out with. I would say that you said something that I had written down that is a stereotype, or at least something that's said about disc golf a lot. Is very inclusive. Disc golfers are some of the nicest. This is I'm not tooting horn about disc golf and saying that everybody should play disc golf, even though I think that. I'm just saying, for the most part, anyone that you're going to run into on the disc golf course is going to be cordial and usually pretty. I don't want to say the word I'm not looking for is tolerant, or maybe accepting,
open-minded,
friendly, and something like that. And so like you said, I've definitely played lots of rounds with people who were dope smoking. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing. It's so when you first start playing the sport, and you show up to your local course and you know nobody,
right?
And so then you run into a group that's playing, and you find out, okay, well, maybe these aren't my type of people.
Sure. Yeah.
So then you kind of, next time you see him, you give him a wave, but then you keep your distance until the next group comes along or something, or you find the local club running their event, their monthlies or whatever. You will eventually find, and I hate to use the word click, but you're going to find your group. Yeah, you'll find a group. You're going to find the ones you're comfortable hanging out with, playing, and even the ones that I never smoked marijuana or nothing like that.
Okay, Jeff, whatever you say.
In public. No, but I don't do that. Yeah. But I don't fault somebody that wants to.
Sure.
And if they want to play with me, you're still good people.
Yeah.
I'm going to play golf with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Am I going to come over your house? Probably not, but I'm going to play golf with you.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's funny because I think there's a difference. There are levels to that because I think I'll play golf with anybody, anyone, but there are people that have transitioned from just disc golf friends to becoming real life friends kind of thing. So like I said, disc golf is very inclusive, and then that's the word. It's very inclusive, and then so I'd say that stereotype is correct. And then I went on a little tangent there, but there are because of disc golf connections that are made deeper than just throwing plastic around in the woods.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. That was almost random. But it's true. It's true. I would say that there are they put those little videos out where it's like, I'm a disc golfer. Of course, I'm smoke weed on the course. Have you seen those little memes or whatever?
Yeah.
They're like, I'm a disc golfer, or they'll say it about different things. Like, I'm an actress. Of course, I don't know how much normal people make, kind of thing. And so that's where the question came from. And so I was trying to think, if I was putting a list of things together, I'm a disc golfer. Of course I do this. Of course I say I never hit that tree.
Never go OB.
Never go OB. I don't know. Of course I run from 30 feet away from the tee pad to throw a 150-foot shot. You know those guys. But yeah, there's a lot of little stereotypes that are kind of fun. But man, I love being a part of disc golf in this area, in every area that I've ever played disc golf in. But I love being a part of it. Play video games at all, Jeff? Seems like a no.
No. I used to.
Yeah.
I used to back in the.
What was your favorite back in the day?
Man, I used to play the zombies on Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
Because my kids had the Xbox and stuff, but I couldn't get into it like they did.
Yeah.
That was their thing. Fortnite.
Oh yeah,
is that what it is?
Fortnite's huge, man.
Yeah, and I could hear them in their room clicking on the keyboard, and it's like.
You had them PC. They were PC gaming.
Oh, those guys, yeah, they're legit. I guess
that is pretty legit.
But I'd go in there and I could see their little characters are jumping all over the screen. I'm like, how do you even know what you're looking at? And their fingers are just going like this, and I'm just like, all right, I'm done. So but yeah, the best thing, I played Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And just did the zombies.
Sure.
That was fun because they didn't shoot back.
Yeah.
So it was easy. But no, I'm not too much into them. I have a game on my phone that I'll sit down and play.
That's what I was going to ask.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah. Do you? So I was thinking about disc golf and video games.
Right.
So there's a video game. There's a phone game.
Disc Golf
Disc Golf Valley. Do you have that?
I had it.
You had it.
Had it.
You don't have it anymore.
No.
Why not?
You
just didn't like it.
Got bored.
I did the same thing. Like I had Disc Golf Valley for a while, and I got to the point where I was like, this is just making me mad. I'd rather be playing disc golf. Like,
right.
I don't want to be flicking it on my phone. But there's a lot of people around here that play it. So no knocking on you guys.
Have at it.
I'm just not vibing with it. And there's another game. There's a new game called True Disc Golf on the Nintendo Switch. You know,
well, is that one you? Well, no, because I'm thinking they had disc golf on the Wii.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, which you actually had to do the motions.
Sure.
You know, disc golf valley, you just drag your finger.
And
flick
let it go. Yeah.
You know, it's like okay.
So that's what the True Disc Golf on Switch is that way. I think I don't know.
Motion sensor.
Motion sensor. I don't know if it's VR yet, or if they have a VR version of disc golf. I'm sure someone's built one out there somewhere.
Right.
But True Disc Golf is the one that's most well known right now. So you got to do the whole motion with your hand and everything.
Well, let me ask you this, since we're on this tangent of disc golf games.
Yeah.
That Birdie.
Yeah.
Board game.
Yeah, I have it.
How does that work?
Dude, I don't know. I tried to play it. I have it.
Yeah, because I'm trying to understand the concept.
Yeah.
I'm like, how am I playing disc golf?
Have you ever seen it in person?
I've seen the pictures.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
I'll try again, but when I played it, I bought it. I thought I would like it because I'm a board game guy.
I mean, I like board games too, but it's
Yeah.
like I don't understand how that works.
I didn't get it either. If somebody knows,
Steve Dodge, email us.
Yes, absolutely. If somebody knows how to play it and make it fun, like please let us know. Please tell me. Steve Dodge would be it.
That might be my only way I ever get to play Maple Hill, though.
We'll take a trip. Hey, if this podcast and this channel does well, I'll take a whole group.
Hey, my bags are packed.
Maple Valley. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I wish that board game was good. And there's an expansion now, so somebody is playing it. Like somebody,
well, sure.
Somebody has figured out.
Somebody figured out how to go 10 down on that course.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even understand the concept.
You get to pick
draw cards.
If I remember correctly, you have to pick a character. So there are different characters in the box. You have to pick up, and they're pro players, and each of one of them have like a perk, basically,
like their attributes.
Yeah, they have attributes, and then they have like a special ability that they do. And there's you have to roll some type of dice, which shows kind of how far you threw, and then you set your disc, and then you have to make a putt, and that's some kind of chance type thing. But putts are highly easy to make as far as chance goes. But like if you're trying to hit like a gap or something, then it's different every time because there are cards that change the course and the wind and things like that. But the time that I played it, I remember just thinking, I am so bored. I'm so bored. Micah Thompson, who is like a board game guru, tried to teach me how to play, and I was like,
so he gets the concept though.
He gets the concept. I don't think he had fun either, but he didn't tell me whether or not he had fun. But I remember telling him, I don't think I like this. It's at my house right now. I can't get rid of it because I'm a disc golfer, and it's like cool that I have the disc golf board game.
Right.
But
it'll be nostalgia.
You're right.
10 years.
Look at that. I played that one time.
Tell your kids about that.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of kids, congrats on being a girl dad.
Thanks, man.
I don't know nothing about being a girl dad. But
it
sounds like very expensive.
It's yeah, we'll find out soon. Little Lindley. There's nothing different right now. Diaper changes are a little scary, but there's nothing different at the current time. She's only 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
But they say that'll change soon.
It's like the other day when Jen and I were talking. I was like, well, we'll ask you in about 15 years.
Yes, 15 years, there'll definitely be something else, something different. I'll have to, like, so much emotion. Well, maybe not. Maybe she won't be emotional, but my assumption is there'll be some emotions.
Oh, there's
running
through. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. But I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you bringing her in here. She's awesome. She's beautiful. She's adorable.
And Mama's doing good.
She's doing great. She's healing. My friends tell me that I look at her different than I do my boys, but I talking about the baby. But I can't see me, so I don't know. I can't see me. The last little thing, and then we want to talk about some local stuff, local things going on around here. We got Tullahoma and Shelbyville. I just found out today that there was a scene in Lord of the Rings filmed on a disc golf course.
Yeah, it's beyond me.
So you're not a Lord of the Rings fan?
No.
So for There's a character named Gandalf.
Yeah, weren't they all filmed like in Europe or something?
Like New Zealand.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. There's a character named there's a video. It was on Reddit, R Disc Golf, and basically the guy's like doing the shot for shot frames and showing where they superimposed a tower in the background, and they're walking down this path, but the path is a disc golf hole, like it's a fairway. It's a fairway for a disc golf hole, and so the Gandalf, who is played by Ian McKellen, I believe, and Sauron, they're both wizards, and Sauron is bad, but you don't know yet. Is it Sauron? No, Saruman. And they don't know yet, but they're like buddies, and they're walking down, and they showed the video, and I was like, "What? I got to play this course, so I got to get to New Zealand sometime and play disc golf."
The only other movie I know that was filmed on a disc golf course or had a scene was that 21 Jump Street with Channing Tatum and that Jonah Hill guy.
Did they play disc golf?
Well, they were fishing a disc out of City Park in New Orleans. The course in New Orleans, yeah.
No way.
So that was their police duty, I guess, at the time when they were fishing a disc out for a kid,
That's good.
But they had a basket in the background, so.
Oh, I'm going to have to look it up. The first one, 21 Jump Street, not 22?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't even I've seen that movie once, but I'm going to go look into it. Because I remember it being funny. That's the one he says, "My name's Jeff."
My name's Jeff.
Your name is Jeff. You can't say that. You got to say something else. Oh, man. All right, so we got some local happenings. This is what we're going to talk about whenever you're on the show, Jeff. We're going to kind of do some updates as far as the local scene around here goes.
Because I know all.
You are the president of the TDGA. Sounds
yeah, it's down in Tullahoma.
So, all right, let's tell us about what's going on in Tullahoma. Anything new? Anything?
Well, yeah, let's see. We just had our second Bag Tag Monthly. I think we got 2 new members that showed up.
Oh, heck yeah.
Last Saturday. We have been in the neighbors.
Yeah,
we've been in talks with the city parks department. We've really are taking giant strides with them.
Yeah,
forming a great relationship. That was the whole goal. Was building a good relationship with them. Because we want updates and changes in things like, especially to the course.
Yeah,
baskets need upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little hole changes, not something drastic. I'm not trying to upset the OGs that were down there, but something that makes the course more attractive to hold events and get the people. Last year we've had there was a couple events down there. I think you've held one, at least one. And people are like,
but it's Tullahoma though.
Man, this course needs a few trees out of here, and yada yada. And it's like, well, maybe one day.
Yeah.
And so the board we actually walked through the course with the city parks today.
Snap. Oh, snap.
Yeah, because if you've never been down there, there is an arboretum that the course runs through. Yeah. And so even the head arborist was there and gave us
people
great insight on there was some stuff that he was like, yeah, this stuff you take down.
Sure.
It's invasive to this tree. It'll eventually basically suffocate the trees. Mm-hmm. And so he gave us some very, very good insight on nature.
Yeah.
Nature insight. Just say because we're not going to go out there and just start chainsawing everything down that gets in the way.
Yeah, yeah.
As easy as that could be, we still want the integrity of the course to maintain the difficulty, but we still want to implement fairness.
Sure, absolutely. The course has good bones.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And and it's like we want to be able to draw people from out of town, mm-hmm. And hold bigger events down the line.
Yeah.
To where, not only does it help the club grow and help the sport grow, but, it's like, look at Emporia.
Yeah.
It's our town sizes are probably similar. Mm-hmm. And it's like, but they have 20 more disc golf courses than we do. But that's because the city's behind disc golf, you know? Right. Because the draw that disc golf has and the events that they were able to pull, now, I think I've heard a thing where GBO, just that week, it boosted the economy by $1 million.
Wow.
And it's like, well, we might not get $1 million in Tullahoma, but if there's any type of number boost, and, the cities are always looking at boosting their tourisms.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so
I think the communities in southern Middle Tennessee are attractive disc golf communities. Like the people that are a part of them I think I enjoy the communities.
right.
We just gotta have the courses to
and it's
set up.
It's one of those things where it'll take time.
Yeah.
It'll take time to grow it, and but we'll get there. I'm confident. I'm confident in that board. I'm confident in the relationship that we're establishing with the city. So,
sure.
So some changes will be coming.
Awesome.
Good changes. So we got our first event that's on the board.
Yeah.
I know you're running an event this weekend, but
I am.
Our first event as a club
Yep.
is March 30th, and we're calling it the Red Rock Open.
Yep.
So
That's exciting.
Got one player signed up already.
Heck yeah.
Shout out Shane Glass. Good job, buddy.
Oh, I like Shane.
Yeah.
He sounds like Norm Macdonald when he talks. So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. He's a great. He's funny. He's a character.
Dude.
But yeah, he's signed up already, so that's
Yeah.
good to see. That means other people are seeing.
I think that you'll get a good turnout for it. I was always happy when we hit 30 when I was running the tournaments at Tullahoma. I was like, okay, that's good.
Right.
But it could always be way better.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think y'all get more than 30, no problem. Especially y'all doing that
know.
on month minis like right now, right?
Yeah. Every
Close to 30.
first Saturday of the month.
Yeah. Y'all getting close to 30 out there, right?
Yeah, I want to say. Well, the first one we had was 34.
Well,
I
there
think.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if we got 34 last week or not, but we had the two joined up. But.
Yeah. Here's a real question. Did y'all walk all 27 holes or just the original 18?
So we did the original 18.
Okay.
So I figured it's going to be one of those. We got to win the small battles before the war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we'll tackle it. We'll tackle it. I want to get in touch with and I'm gonna reach out to the guys. There's been a group of guys that have been kind of handling the new 9.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just come in there just blazing guns and stuff.
Sure.
I want their input.
Yeah. That's awesome.
They've been putting in the manpower and the legwork, blood, sweat, and tears. And it's like I don't want to just kick them out of the circle.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I'm gonna reach out and figure
in.
out who those guys were too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll tackle. We'll eventually get the other one because I mean, the new 9 is going to get used.
Sure, absolutely.
Monthlies.
Yeah. Awesome.
Tournaments later in the year.
Yeah.
So it'll get played.
Yeah.
And but the cities, they know we need upgrades.
Yeah.
They know we need baskets.
Sure.
They know we need signs.
Mm.
And they know we need restrooms.
Restrooms. That's the number one request, is it not?
Yes. So they've already promised us that they will have porta potties out there for our events.
Heck yeah.
And then just today, they contacted the East Middle School to see if we can have access to the restroom facility that like the softball and soccer players use.
Wow.
That's it's a little bit of a walk from the parking lot.
But it's not a drive.
But it's something.
Yeah. Right now you got to drive somewhere if you're trying to use the bathroom.
It's not a drive. You're right.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
So we should have access. Now, I don't believe that's going to be access for like permanently.
Yeah.
It's going to be like when we have events.
Yeah.
We'll have access
Sure.
to that. But they already did. They already said, we'll get porta potties out there. And
yeah. For those of you who don't know,
but work days are coming.
Yeah.
Work days are now coming because now we have basically figured out what our limitations were, where our hands were tied.
Sure.
And now that we have guidelines from the city, I can schedule some work days.
Oh
Get some cleanup days out there. It's not going to be a total facelift of the course, but there's got to be some changes, and we want it playable, fair.
So you guys previously had been there had been an understanding like that nothing could happen out there. You wouldn't be able to move any trees. Everything was protected. Yeah, that's what had been said. At least that's what had been believed by people around, and that's not the case. You said they're not.
It's not.
Yeah,
they're very receptive of our ideas, and it could just be presentation.
Yeah,
how we presented ourselves with coming to them. We had a sit down meeting last week with all the board members and the city park officials, and it was just like it was a great meeting.
Yeah, they
wanted to come out and do a walkthrough because it was easier to explain as they saw it.
Yeah,
and after today, it was like even better.
Yeah,
so now I feel like we have a good relationship established to where we're gonna be able to get some good things done down there, make some things happen, and grow it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think again, I'll say this about that course. I love the bones of that course. I like the difficulty level. It makes it to where I can drive 20 minutes. Shelbyville's really great. HV's great. It's a great beginner course. I can get anyone to play HV and feel decent about themselves after a couple rounds. Tullahoma will push you to another level kind of thing, or make you quit.
Right? Yeah, either one.
Yeah. Is there anything else going on in Tullahoma?
No, I think that's about covers it for us.
Well, down here in Shelbyville Disc Golf Club. Find us on Facebook. You guys are Tullahoma Disc Golf Association on Facebook. Yeah. We have our first bag tag monthly is 2 weeks away. It's the third Saturday of the month. We didn't get to have our first one. That should have been in January. It got snowed out. And we have been in the tradition of we don't cancel. Period. We've been in the tradition of that. And so that one, to make that decision was a big move. I wasn't going to be there anyway. My daughter was born that weekend, so there's no way I was going to be there. But I think they made the right call. I think we made the right call to not have it.
I think it was like a monsoon at that day, wasn't it?
No, it was ice. It was
was it the ice storm?
Yeah, it was the ice storm,
okay.
and it was the snowstorm, and nobody was going to be able to drive if they lived in the back roads.
Right.
I saw some pictures, and we didn't want to be responsible for anyone crashing. And I was on my way to the disc golf thing,
Right.
So nobody missed out on anything. All the points are the same this year. We've discussed our club monthlies have been $13 for AMS and $20 for MPO. An FPO, and I think we've discussed changing that to a clean 15. It's just easier on everyone, and inflation has happened.
Right.
So,
well, that's what we do. We do 15.
Yeah.
But we do cash payout to all division.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right,
we
don't mess with the plastic.
We don't mess with the merch. No. You want to play advance? Come get paid. You know?
That's nice. That's nice. And that's something that we've been just running on the same bylaws, and something maybe we can look into. But I think maybe that is something to weigh, because if you're paying 15 and you can get paid back versus paying 15 and you have to get merch, it's something to think about. We haven't really thought about it. We've just been kind of rolling the same way.
Well, we're so fresh that we have no inventory as far as merchandise goes. So it's just a little easier. We're just wanting to grow the numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. We did when we break down our numbers, it's like $8 to play, and that covers insurance and club fees, and then it's the whole $13 it's $2 for CTPs, or $3 for CTPs, and then $2 for ace pot. And so really, if we move it to 15, that's just moving that $8 to 10, and I don't think anyone's going to complain about that, So anyway, that's something we're discussing. I know that's kind of small, but it is a big deal when you think about money. That's really what we got going on, and then we've got. The money has been given to MVP. Our baskets are on the way.
Oh, I heard.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a people talking about red. We got red baskets. Nobody has red baskets. We wanted. That's what we're ordering. That's what we're getting. You're gonna be able to see them better than the gray baskets that are already there. For anyone that's kind of thinking about it, I know we for a second we kind of got worried about the red because of the colorblind thing, but. People possibly not being able to see it because of the red-green color deficiency. But if you can see the gray now, then you'll be able to see the whole basket won't be red, and it won't be laying down on the ground. So it'll be jutting out of the ground like a normal basket would.
Right.
And the chains will be gray or silver or whatever you want to call normal. So they're going to look really good. They look real, clean, hot rod looking.
As long as they catch.
As long as they can. Look, we got 18.
Better.
We got 18 chains in the baskets that we have right now.
Yeah.
The baskets we were ordering have 30 chains. So.
Oh, yeah. I like. Now there's the odds of gambling right there. Full circle. Here we come on this show.
So we looked at the 36 chains, and I was like, I don't know. Double the chains sounds like too much. So.
Increase the odds of hitting that putt.
Sure, absolutely it will. And at least decrease the odds of spitting through.
Yeah. Half full, half empty. However you want to look at that, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. So we're excited about that. We're gonna supposedly they should be here Monday or Tuesday.
Man, that's a quick turnaround.
It is a quick turnaround. MVP's gotten a lot better about their shipping, because it used to take like 3 weeks for them to send anything, and now if they have it, they send it. So that's what they said. We should get it sometime by the middle of the week next week, and then we're gonna do our best to start getting things in the ground, because I just have it on good authority that we need to do things sooner than later, and so we're gonna get those things in the ground. Hopefully, get river bottoms in the ground.
So are the baskets from HV coming over to river bottom?
No, so we the club own 9 permanent baskets of our own, and then we own 18 temporary baskets, and then the park, the way that they handle things is basically no. The answer to long story short, no. We are going to donate our 9 to river bottom. Like in order for that to happen, that was kind of one of the stipulations. It was like, hey, can we put a course here? And they're like, maybe. And I was like, and then we said, we have the baskets.
We have baskets.
And they said, yes, you can put a course there. So, and then, so that happened. And then the new 9 at HV, the ones that are hopefully going to be more like higher level course
in the back area,
in the back area, even if they're not super long, they're going to be a little more technical. And those are coming from the 9. Like the 18 that are at HV right now. So we'll be pushing 9 back that way. I know they had a meeting tonight to discuss the master plan, and the master plan was originally, it's changed a couple times, but it was originally, we were going to get 18 new baskets, 18 new holes over there. To be honest, I don't think that is ever going to happen, that master plan, at least in my lifetime. And so I'm going to kind of disregard it. They may approve everything and start working on it tomorrow, but the way government works, that generally doesn't, that's usually how that doesn't.
Right.
Like you said, your guys talked about they have 4 guys for 400 acres.
Right.
Same type of deal over here. We like everything that's been happening with disc golf. They've been really excited about. They've seen people using it, but they've said, "Y'all do it." And so our relationship is good there. And so that's key. If you watch this far in the podcast and you don't learn anything else, if you're trying to start a club in a town, you need to have a good relationship with the Parks and Rec department.
Get in good.
Yes. You need to come in earnest, be honest, be upfront about everything. And then when you do want to make improvements, I think what's helped us is having initiative to be willing to do the work and maybe even do some of the fundraising and maybe even like I said, we brought 9 baskets and said, can we have a course? And they said, okay. So
yeah,
it's been a dance, but I appreciate Mike. He's been really easy to work with, and he's been really attentive to what disc golf has been doing. So I want to talk about real quick about George Washington Day. I don't want to step on Tullahoma's toes ever running events out there. George, last year, this is how it came about. George last year, he messaged me and said, "Hey, I want to learn how to run tournaments, and I would love for you to help me." And I said, "Sure, I'll help you. What do you want to do?" And he said, "I want to do a tournament in Tullahoma because that's where I live, and I want to do." That's what he said. He said, "And then whatever. This is the day that I'm thinking." So sure, okay, I'll put it on Disc Golf Scene. And when I put it on Disc Golf Scene, kind of as for fun, I named it George Washington Day because it was close to President's Day.
Right.
And so this is year 2 of it. And George is taking a little more of the reins. He's the one who photoshopped his face onto the, to the Disc Golf Scene. And it was really just to kind of get his feet wet in running tournaments. Mm-hmm. But hopefully, if it's something that he wants to keep doing, we'll keep doing it because he's the one who reached out to me.
He'll have plenty of opportunity this year.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. If next year he's like, you know what? I don't want to run that tournament. That's cool. It was his this has been his baby kind of introduction into running tournaments. But yeah, y'all have a whole crew to run that whole thing.
Yep.
But yeah, so if you haven't signed up for George Washington Day, if you're watching this now, it's probably tomorrow. But it's Saturday, the 19th.
Can they sign up day of?
The 10th. They can sign up day of. You can walk up and sign up. That's cool. There's Red Rocks Open, March 30th.
March 30th.
And then the Urban Eagle is March 23rd. It's a week before that, and that is the temp course that we do at Shelbyville Central High School to raise money for the tennis team. And there's one more tournament there's a flex start that I'm also doing. So we have a team from our church that are going to Belize. And they approached me and asked me if we could do some kind of tournament on our course at the church. And I said, yeah, sure. So we're going to do a flex start at our 9-hole course at Fairhaven. It's called Flexing at Fairhaven for Belize. It's a long name, but
when's that?
That's March 10th. It's the same day as the women's event, the Tennessee Women's Championship or whatever. 10th. But that one is $20 to play. It's an XC tier. So for the MPO people, half of it's going to go to Belize. For the AMs, there's no players pack, there's no payout, but every hole for everybody is going to have a CTP and a longest putt hit. So if you ace, that counts as the longest putt hit. There'll be 2 prizes on every hole.
And
so,
you kind of redesigned that course, didn't you?
I did redesign it to make
I need to get out there then.
Yeah, you need to come play. I made it. We need to get some T signs to kind of show people, but I made it to where there's only 9 holes, but it's less. What can I say? There's less opportunity for you to get into the bad stuff. If you get into the bad stuff, you throw a bad shot kind of thing. Whereas before you might skip and go into the other things.
Right.
And there were a bunch of short holes. Now there's 9 pretty good disc golf holes. So, yeah, come play it. It's and look, $20. And if you win, you get half of it back. But it's going to a good cause. We go up there and we build. We built a church most recently, but before that we fixed people's roofs from the hurricane. We fed kids in the local village. We give them medicine to kids in the local village. Like we spend a lot of time with villagers, just helping them.
I'm gonna have to talk to my buddy Jason Skipper. You ever met? You know Jason Skipper?
Skipper. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his wife is from Belize.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Heck
and
yeah.
they used to live down there.
Wow.
And I don't know if his kids were born there. I know his oldest one might.
I did not know that about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a mission partner in Belize, and that's
he's
what
fluent in like Spanish and everything. It blows my mind.
Wow.
Yeah.
Skipper, you should come play.
Yeah.
We're going down there for charity and goodwill, and to share Jesus with people. So if you don't want us to do that, I guess don't play. But anyway.
Oh, you're going to hell.
No, oh my gosh. Hey, thanks for joining us for our 5th episode of a disc golf podcast. Look, we'll be talking more about disc golf in the future as the season rolls up. But I'm Philip. This is Jeff, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
We come out in the night after eating our pizza. If you're doing crimes, then we better not see ya. 'Cause we will fight you up, and who you gonna tell? We're really, really sweet. Master Splinter taught you well.